Hello, this is Jedi Master Daniel 96, and today I will be reviewing Star Wars Jedi Academy Leviathan by Kevin J. Anderson, and let's begin. Well, Jedi Academy Leviathan is a comic miniseries put into one with this trade, and pretty much it's set after the events of Return of the Jedi in the original expanded universe, now called Legends, which was the old canon, and this story focuses on Kip Duron and Dorsk 82, and there's also characters like Kirana Tai, and then, or Kirana T, if you pronounce it right, then Streen, then Tyon, and Luke Skywalker is in this comic, but Luke doesn't play a big role in this series. In this comic, and then Leia makes a brief appearance where she talks to a message to Luke Skywalker in this comic, and then Admiral Akbar briefly appears, but pretty much the focus is on the newer characters, and pretty much the main premise of the story is where Kip Duron and Dorsk 82 are sent to the planet Korbos, which is a mining colony planet, to investigate an attack, and then pretty much Kip and Dorsk 82 go to the planet Korbos, then they land on the planet, then they find this stuff, and then pretty much the place is a wreck, and then they pretty much Kip and Dorsk split up, and then pretty much Dorsk 82 is worried about Kip, and then Dorsk contacts the contacts the Jedi Academy or the Praxium, or whatever you want to call it, to let him know they need help, and then Kip encounters the Leviathan beast, which is, the creature is the Leviathan, and then Kirana T and Streen come to help out to defeat the Leviathan. Then they pretty much defeat the Leviathan monster, and then pretty much there's this one part where Luke talks about how he's lost students along the way, and how he's, lost, pretty much you learn about how he says about his students, how he's lost some along the way, and I thought that was a pretty cool touching thing right there with Luke, and then how he was, I guess, a bit worried, and then that's pretty much the story. And I did say this was a fun read, and I reread this for the review, fresh in my mind, and as I said, this was a pretty fun and entertaining read, and there are some pretty good continuity references in here. Like, you get mentions of Thrawn, Dala, Pelion, and then the Darksaber Project, and then you talk about the Resurrected Emperor. Pretty much another example that the EU had perfect continuity, because it has the references I mentioned in here, which is, one of the references on how the EU connected pretty well in some fashion, and this comic came around the time probably around the time episode 1 came out, or maybe afterwards, maybe like a year or two after, and the artwork is pretty decent for around the time it came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I'll just, showcase you some random artwork of it. Like that's the opening with Luke and R2. Actually, no, R2's there, just Luke, and then, that's pretty much the other bit. Then you have Luke's students with Kip Duron, Strain, Tyod, and Kirana Tai on there, and then, I'm just showcasing some random artwork. So that's it. That's Korbos, and then I'll showcase another. And that's the Leviathan monster. And some more, and then there's electrocuting the monster, and then there's putting the monster in the lava, and then there's some more panels, and there's fighting the monster, like with the final fight against it. Then there's more panels right here, and then that's pretty much the end right there. And that's pretty much what the comic looks like. And as I said, this is a pretty fun read, and I highly recommend picking this up. And I mean, Kevin J. Anderson wrote the Jedi Academy trilogy, Darksaber. I think he did stuff for like the Tales of the Bounty Hunters and Tales from Jabba's Palace and all that. And then he did the Tales of the Jedi comics and the Young Jedi Knights. And then this, I would say, is one of his last things I would say he wrote for Star Wars. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I mean, definitely pick up a copy of this if you can. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Comment what you think down below. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye.